Alright guys, in this video we're going to work on problem 3 together. And if we have time, we're going to work on problem 4 together. Okay? So this section is pretty complicated. I really need you guys pay attention. Okay? This is a star mark. Okay, page 363 all the way top, property. Nth root of nth power. Alright, for any real number a is a real number. Nth root of a to the nth power can be simplified into the two different things. A, when, if n is odd. Okay, and your if n is even, you need to put the absolute value together. Why? We practiced already that your n is even. Then you are going to have a plus or negative, which is the both answers coming out. Okay? So it is easy to overlook this rule for simplifying radicals. It is particularly important that you remembered it when the radical contains a variable expressions. Yeah, it's getting complicated. So you must include the absolute value when n is even, and you must omit it when n is odd. So I'm going to practice with the problem 3, and I'm going to give you time to work on guide 3 by yourself. Alright, so problem 3. What is a simpler form of each radical expression? So my a is this. Square root of 16x to the 8th power. Alright, so let's practice this together. So first, I have to look at my n. What is my n, guys? This is 2. So my n is 2. Which means I have to rewrite my expression into the something squared. That's what I need to do. So tell me, 16 is 4 squared and x to the 8th power. How do I make it something squared? 4 times 2 become 8. So, okay, let me make my parentheses a little bit longer. So 4 squared and x to the 4th power, everything squared. That would be 16x to the 8th power. Do you understand that? If you understand this, then it's really hard to understand. Alright, now what? You are going to cancellate it, so please look at the rule above. What did they say? If n is odd, then you need to put just a. If your n is even, what do we do? Put the absolute value on it. Okay, I'm going to put the absolute value on this. 4x to the 4th power and close my absolute value. But look, this is the tricky part. We are going to leave the parenthesis, leave absolute value on it, or we have to omit it. That's what you need to think of. So think about it. Absolute value of 4. What is it? It's still 4. So I don't really have to put absolute value around it. And then what about x to the 4th power? So you have to pay attention to the sign. Okay? So x to the 4th power. If you plug in negative 2 there. Negative 2 to the 4th power. And if you put the positive 2 in here, positive 2 to the 4th power. Doesn't matter what number you're going to plug in, your answer is always positive, right? At the situation, we don't really need any absolute value around this, so you have to omit all of them, just simplify as 4x to the 4th power. Okay? So you need to include absolute value symbols because the index of a square root is 2, which is even, but absolute value of 4 times x to the 4th power is 4 times x to the 4th power. I just mentioned it. X to the 4th power is always non-negative. So when do we need to omit the absolute value? Whenever your expression is non-negative, then you need to get rid of it. Non-negative. You have to get rid of absolute value symbol. That is a tricky part. Okay? Alright, let's practice the second expression together. So my second expression is b. That is cube root of a to the 6th power, b to the 9th power. Alright. So, you don't really have to worry about anything because we don't need any absolute value. Why? Because my n is odd. So, you need to express your a to the 6th power, b to the 9th power in terms of something to the 3rd power. So I can give you a hint. You can just simply divide 6 by 3, 9 by 3. You just put the quotient in it. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So a squared. And 9 divided by 3, that's 3. b cubed around cubed. That's gonna be same as a to the 6th power, b to the 9th power, correct? And then you can cancellate those two. Then what you got? A to the 2nd power, b cubed. Simply, that's it because we don't need any absolute value symbol. Okay? So that's a simple question. Now, C is a little bit complicated. So I'm going to put the C here. All right. 4th root of x to the 8th power, y to the 12th power. I told you that simply you're just divide 8 by 4, 12 by 4, put the quotient in the parentheses. But your index is even number. Your n is even number, so you would have a plus or negative situation. What you need to put it in? You need to put the absolute value around it. So now, I can rewrite it as x squared y cubed around to the 4th power, right? This 4 and 4 cancellated, but I need absolute value around it. And look, what situation we omit the absolute value? Whenever we are having non-negative. So which will be non-negative? Please look at the, first example A. When we don't need absolute value, we have a even power. We don't need it, right? So, if you have a, x squared and then y cubed, I have a 2 and 3 right here. Which one will be non-negative every single time? This x squared is going to be always positive because any number squared is going to be positive, which means I don't need any absolute value around x squared. But I need my absolute value around y because y has cubed, right? So only y, because y can be negative when your y is negative, then your y cubed would be also negative as well. I'm going to show you the example. Your y equal negative 1. Negative 1 cubed, what is it? Negative 1, right? So you may have a negative. So you have to put the absolute value around y cubed, but you don't need an x squared. Alright, that's a little bit tricky, right? So the index is even, so the absolute value symbol needs to put around it, but absolute value symbols are not needed for x squared since your x squared is always non-negative. So you have to pay attention when we're going to leave absolute value or omit absolute value. Alright, so I'm going to give you time to work on Got It 3 by yourself. And please resume the video after you've done it. Alright, Got It 3. So what is the simplified form of each radical expression? So A, square root of 81x to the 4th power. Alright, let's label my index. What's my index? 2, which is even. Alright, if you have an even, what do you need to expect? We're going to put absolute value around it. Now, what number squared become 81? What number squares become 81? 9 squared. And one number squared become 4. 2 squared equal 4. So you divide it by 4 by 2, then you would have 2. So I can rewrite my expression as 9x squared and around squared. Then I can get my answer. So look, this squared is same. So that you are going to put the absolute value around 9x squared. Now you have to check it. Absolute value of 9, is it always positive? Yes. I don't need any absolute value. What about x squared? X squared is always non-negative value. Yes, it is. Negative squared become positive. Positive squares equal positive. So, in this case, I don't need to put any absolute value around it. Simplified as 9x squared. You good? Alright, now move on to B. Okay, that's too much. Okay, here. B. B, I have cube root of a to the 12th power, b to the 15th power. Okay, I'm happy with that because I don't have to think about any absolute value sign this time. So now, 12 divided by 3, a to the 4th power. 15 divided by 3, b to the 5th power, around cubed. That's equivalent to the a to the 12th power, b to the 15th power. Now what? Cancellate this. And I got a to the 4th power, b to the 5th power. That's my final answer. Alright? Now C. I have 4th root of x to the 12th power, y to the 16th power. Okay? Now, 12 divided by 4, which is 3. 16 divided by 4, y to the 4th power. Everything 4th power around with 4th root. Since my index is even, I needed absolute value around it, x cubed and y to the 4th power. Okay, now what? Think about it when we can get rid of absolute value sign. What did I say? Whenever you are having even, you don't need to put any absolute value around it, which means that if you have odd power, you have to have absolute value around it because that number can be negative. So absolute value of x cubed, only with x cubed. Y should be taken out of the absolute value symbol. Okay? So absolute value of x cubed times y to the 4th power, that would be my answer for, got it, 3. Alright? Alright, we still have time to go, so let me go to the page 364. Working on problem 4. Alright, some teachers adjust test scores when a test is difficult. One teacher's formula for adjusting scores is A equals 10 times square root of R, where A is the adjusted score and R is the row score. If the row scores on one test range from 36 to 90, what is the range of the adjusted scores? Oh, that's kind of simple that we just plug in 36 and 90 onto the radical and you just calculate, okay? So my first case, my R is 36. Now what do I do? 10 times radical 36 become 10 times 6, which is 60. That's my first A, right? And then my second, you don't really put the equal A. That's 60, that's it. Now my R would be 90, right? So plug in 10 times radical 90. So radical 90 is around 9.487 using your calculator. Then my answer this time is going to be approximately 94.8, which is 95. So I can say the adjusted scores range from 60 to 95. You just plug into the, formula, that's it. Alright, now I need you guys to pause this video to work on Got It 4 and check the Got It 4 together. That's it for today. Alright, Got It 4. In problem 4, what are the adjusted scores for row scores of 0 and 100? Alright, so I had a formula A equals 10 times radical R. So my first R equals 0, then what's gonna have? 10 times radical 0, which is 10 times 0. What is it? 0. My second situation. My R equal 100. Then I can plug in 100 here. And what is it? 10 times 10, which is 100. Okay? Alright, I hope this video helps you. We're going to see in the Zoom class. Bye.